For so many of us over 50, the day doesn't really start with a spring in our step, does it? It's more of a creak, a groan, a feeling of stiffness. Well, if that sounds at all familiar, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to be detectives and really investigate why that happens.
Let's talk about that feeling, that rusty sensation, right? It's when your muscles feel all tight, your joints feel heavy and stiff, and it can make just getting out of bed a real challenge.
So we're calling this the morning mystery. And, just like in any good detective story, the very first thing we have to do is clearly define the problem we're trying to solve. Yeah, this is way more than just feeling a little groggy or sleepy. It's a physical thing. It feels like your body just doesn't want to cooperate. Almost like you're trying to walk with weights on your ankles for those first few minutes.
Okay, our investigation is taking us right to the scene of the crime. We're going deep inside your joints to look at the completely normal, natural changes that happen as we all get a little bit older. So think of cartilage like this amazing, smooth, protective cushion between your bones. But as we age, and this is totally normal, this super important cushioning starts to thin out a little. And that, right there, is our first major clue in this mystery.
Now this is where it gets really interesting. Take a look. On the left, you've got a younger joint. See all that nice thick cushioning? But now, look over on the right. The cartilage is thinner. And here's the kicker. The fluid in there hasn't been moving around much all night because, well, you haven't been moving. That really sets the stage perfectly for that morning stiffness.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? That rusty feeling is the perfect analogy. When a machine sits idle for too long, it gets stiff. Your joints are kind of the same. It's really a problem of lubrication, or a lack of it, after a long night of being still.
All right, so let's bring in our second culprit, because believe me, the joints are only half the story. Your muscles play a huge part in this whole morning mystery too.
I want you to picture an old rubber band you find at the back of a drawer. It just doesn't have that same snap, that same stretch it used to have, right? Well, our muscles go through a pretty similar process over time. They just gradually lose some of that natural springiness.
And this is basically what's happening every single night while you're fast asleep. You're not moving much, so those less elastic muscles are just quietly shortening up, getting tighter. And that's why those first movements in the morning, like bending over to put on your slippers, can feel surprisingly difficult. Okay, time for our final set of clues. Let's look at how our day-to-day habits and our overall health can actually pour gasoline on the fire, making that stiffness feel even worse.
The big word here, the one to remember, is inflammation. This is so important. Things like your diet, how you handle stress, and even how you sleep can trigger inflammation in your body. And that inflammation directly leads to more stiffness and discomfort.
Think of these as the co-conspirators in our mystery. Now, some are obvious, right? Like arthritis. But then you've got the sneaky ones. Everyday stress, sleeping in a weird position, maybe not being as active as you used to be. All of these things can team up to make that morning stiffness way more intense.
So, we've looked at all the evidence. We've interviewed all the suspects. It is time to deliver the verdict and finally solve this mystery of why we feel so stiff in the morning.
Okay, so here's the breakdown. Piece number one of the puzzle. It all begins with that natural, totally normal thinning of the cartilage that cushions your joints. That's the foundation. Then the situation gets a whole lot worse because your muscles, which are a little less flexible now, tighten up overnight. It's like a 1-2 punch from both your joints and your muscles. And finally, the severity of it all, how stiff you actually feel, is directly influenced by those instigators. Your daily habits, how active you are, your overall health, your lifestyle really has the final say.
But listen, here's the absolute most important clue of all. Even though this feeling is super common, it is also manageable. Just understanding the why behind it is the single most powerful first step you can take to feeling better.
Now that we've solved the mystery of what's causing it, the big question is, okay, so what do I do about it? Well, in our next explainer, we're going to shift gears from the problem to the solution. We'll talk about how flexibility and some simple habits can help you feel so much more comfortable every single morning.
Hello and welcome. Today, we are going to talk about how to turn your bedroom from, just a room into a real sleep sanctuary. We're going to explore some simple but really powerful changes you can make to get that deep restorative rest you absolutely deserve. This is especially true as our sleep patterns change after 50. I mean, let's be honest. If you find yourself tossing and turning night after night, you are so not alone. It is incredibly frustrating when that amazing sleep you used to get just feels completely out of reach. But what if I told you the solution isn't some newfangled routine or a prescription? What if the key is actually hiding in plain sight, right there in your very own bedroom? Well, that is exactly what we are going to break down today. So here's our roadmap. First, we'll get into why your bedroom environment is more critical now than ever before. Then we'll dive right into the practical stuff. Mastering light and temperature, building that solid foundation for rest with the right bedding, silencing all those nightly distractions, and finally, designing your room for both comfort and safety. So why this sudden obsession with the bedroom? Well, the simple truth is that the very structure of our sleep, how we cycle through light and deep sleep, it just naturally changes as we get older. And that makes us way more sensitive to everything around us. Just think back to when you were younger, right? Sleep was probably deeper, way more resilient. You could probably sleep through a hurricane. But as we age, that all changes. Our sleep gets lighter and a whole lot more fragile, which means we're much more likely to be woken up. And because our sleep is lighter, it means we naturally wake up more often. A car door slamming down the street, or just a tiny shift in the room's temperature, things that would have never, ever bothered you before, can now be enough to jolt you right out of sleep. The big takeaway here is that we have to actively manage these things now. Okay, so let's get into the first pillar of our sleep sanctuary, mastering the environment. We're gonna start by controlling light and temperature, because these two factors have an absolutely massive impact on your sleep quality. It all begins with darkness. I mean, your brain needs a pitch-black, cave-like environment to produce melatonin. That's the hormone that basically says, okay, it's time to power down. Any light, even that little tiny light from your alarm clock, can trick your brain into thinking it's still daytime, and that just slams the brakes on that vital hormone. So here are 3 simple but incredibly effective strategies. First, blackout curtains are an absolute game changer for blocking outside light. Now, if you need to get up at night, use dim, motion-activated night lights placed low to the floor, so you're not getting blasted with bright light. And of course, that blue light from our phones and tablets, it's a major melatonin killer. So make it a rule, shut them all down at least an hour before bed. All right, along with darkness, a cool room is your absolute best friend for sleep. A lower body temperature actually helps kickstart and maintain deep sleep. It allows your muscles to fully relax and your body to get down to the business of repairing itself. So what is the magic number? Well, all the research points to a sweet spot right between 65 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about 18 to 21 Celsius. Now, I know that might feel a little cool at first, but it is the perfect temperature range to signal your body that it is time for some deep, restorative rest. Okay, so we've controlled the atmosphere. Now let's talk about the foundation itself, the bed. What you sleep on is just as important as the environment you sleep in. Think of this as your essential checklist for ultimate comfort. You need a mattress that keeps your spine nice and neutral, a pillow that does the exact same thing for your neck, and sheets made of a breathable material like cotton that help keep your body temperature just right all night long. And here is a really crucial tip, especially for anyone over 50. As our joints get older, they just need more support. A mattress that's too soft lets you sink in, and that puts a lot of stress on your hips and spine. A slightly firmer surface, though, can give you that solid support you need for a pain-free morning. So your room is dark, it's cool, it's comfortable. What's the next potential sleep thief we have to deal with? Noise. Yeah, because our sleep is so much lighter now, even really subtle household sounds can be enough to totally derail your rest. Luckily, we have a whole arsenal of tools to fight back. A white noise machine or even just a gentle fan can create this consistent, soothing sound that just masks all those sudden noises. Soft surfaces like carpets and heavy curtains are fantastic at absorbing sound. And just making it a habit to turn off the ice maker or other noisy appliances before bed, that can make a world of difference. And this brings us to our final and, maybe our most important pillar. A true sleep sanctuary isn't just comfortable, it is also safe. You have to have that peace of mind to really, truly relax. I love this because it is so easy to do. You can do this tonight in literally 5 minutes. First, make sure that path to the bathroom is completely free of clutter. Check that your night lights actually light up the floor so you can see. Loose rugs, they are a major trip hazard, so either secure them down or just get rid of them. And finally, make sure your bed isn't too high or too low. You want to avoid any strain when getting in or out.
So, by addressing these key areas, light, temperature, bedding, noise, and safety, you've actively transformed your room. It is no longer just a place where you lie down, it is a space that you have intentionally designed for healing and for restoration.
And you know, this quote just sums it all up so beautifully. It's not about some massive, expensive overhaul. It's about a series of small, really thoughtful adjustments that, when you put them all together, create a powerful environment for your body to do its essential work of resting and repairing. So, as we wrap this up, I'm gonna leave you with this question. You don't have to do everything all at once. Just pick one thing. What will it be? Are you gonna lower the thermostat? Are you gonna turn off your phone an hour early? Or maybe do that quick 5-minute safety scan? The power to improve your sleep is right there in your hands, and it can start tonight.